Is China on track to become the world's most powerful nation? In this video, we dive deep into the economic, technological, and political rise of China and how it's challenging global dominance like never before. From booming megacities to cutting-edge innovation, here's why experts believe China could soon take the lead on the world stage. Whether you're curious, concerned, or just fascinated, this is a video you don't want to miss. Like, comment, and subscribe for more eye-opening global insights every week. Let's begin.
Imagine building a colossal rocket, stage by stage. You don't build it all at once. You start with the first stage, test it, perfect it, then add the next, each step building on the last. This is the story of China's journey into space, not a single explosive leap but careful, deliberate construction stage by stage. Each success becomes the foundation for the next, a patient climb toward the cosmos. China's methodical approach is woven into its ambition, a cosmic ballet choreographed over decades. They didn't see space as an unconquerable void, but as a destination requiring a map, a plan, and unwavering commitment. Every mission was a sentence in a larger story of national identity and technological prowess. The universe rewards precision and patience, not haste. China's space program embodies this wisdom, learning from the triumphs and tragedies of the early space race. This wasn't just about planting a flag, it was about building a permanent pathway to the heavens. Why go to space? For China, it's about more than national pride. It's about self-reliance, security, and a place on the world stage. In the mid-20th century, launching a satellite was a signal of technological might. We are here. We are capable. For China, emerging from turmoil, space became a symbol of rejuvenation and mastery of modern science. Having a presence in space means seeing the globe, communicating instantly, and navigating with precision, capabilities that transform economies and defense. Developing a space program was a strategic necessity, not a luxury. The launch of Dongfang Hong-1 in 1970 was a simple sphere, but its message was profound. China had joined the exclusive club of spacefaring nations. As it orbited, it broadcast a patriotic song, a beacon of hope and a promise of a future where China would lead in technology. Space is the ultimate high ground, a place to observe, communicate, and project influence. Every rocket, every rover, is another chapter in China's epic story of ambition. It's about proving to itself and the world that it can achieve the extraordinary. Space connects the dreams of its people to the infinite possibilities of the cosmos. For China, space is about independence and shaping its own destiny. The stars matter because they represent the future China is determined to build. Every great journey has its pioneers. China's is Qian Zhuisen. Educated at MIT and Caltech, Qian co-founded the Jet Propulsion Laboratory and was a key mind in America's early space efforts. But during the Red Scare, he was accused of communist sympathies, stripped of his clearance and placed under house arrest. In 1955, he returned to China, not as a suspect, but as a hero. He brought with him not blueprints, but knowledge and experience in building large-scale scientific programs. Qian became the architect of China's rocket and missile programs, instilling a culture of rigorous, systematic progress. His journey changed the course of space history, transforming personal hardship into a nation's cosmic destiny. Revered as the father of Chinese rocketry, Qian's legacy is a reminder that knowledge knows no borders, but its impact is shaped by history. One individual's journey can alter the trajectory of nations. After Dongfang Hong-1, China's space program became a masterclass in methodical advancement. The Long March rockets became the workhorses, each version more capable, building a dependable space transportation system. This steady progress enabled launches of satellites for communication, weather, and Earth observation, each a learning experience. The ultimate test, sending a human to space and bringing them back safely. The Shenzhou program, meaning divine vessel, was the next monumental step. In 2003, Yang Liwei became China's first taikonaut, making China the third nation to achieve independent human spaceflight. This was more than pride, it was proof of technical mastery and the payoff of patient strategy. Subsequent Shenzhou missions pushed further longer flights, spacewalks, and new technologies. Each mission built operational experience, climbing the ladder of space exploration. From a singing satellite to a spacewalking taikonaut, China's symphony grew richer with every note. The journey was deliberate, unhurried, and relentless. China had shown the world its method worked. After learning to travel to space, China set out to live there. Enter the Tiangong program, the Heavenly Palace. Building a space station is a series of launches, a construction project in the harshest environment. China started small, Tiangong-1, a space lab to test rendezvous and docking. Each mission was practice, threading a needle at 17,500 miles per hour. Excluded from the International Space Station, China forged its own path, developing every component independently. This challenge became a motivator for self-sufficiency. The completed Tiangong station, a T-shaped three-module structure, is a permanent home for taikonauts and a world-class laboratory. It's a symbol of technological independence and resilience. By building its own palace in the heavens, China secured access to space and invited international collaboration. Tiangong is more than a station. It's a statement. China is in space to stay. The journey continues, one module at a time. While mastering human spaceflight, China launched another grand adventure, the Chang'e lunar program. Named after the moon goddess, Chang'e followed a multi-phase scientific strategy. First, reach the moon. Chang'e 1 and 2 orbited, mapping the surface and scouting landing sites. Next, land Chang'e 3 delivered the U-2 rover, making China the third country to achieve a soft lunar landing. Then, a world first. Chang'e 4 landed on the far side, requiring a relay satellite and opening new frontiers for science. The far side's unique environment is ideal for radio astronomy and studying lunar history. Chang'e 4's success proved China could execute complex, pioneering missions. Phase 3, bring the moon home. Chang'e 5 returned lunar samples in 2020, the first in over 40 years. Chang'e 6 repeated the feat on the far side in 2024. Each mission built on the last, deepening expertise and knowledge. The Chang'e program is a systematic conquest of our nearest celestial neighbor. China's lunar saga is far from over. With mastery of Earth orbit and the moon, China's next leap is clear: become a leading space power, exploring the solar system and establishing a long-term human presence beyond Earth. In 2021, Tianwen-1 arrived at Mars, orbiting, landing and deploying a rover, all in one mission, a dramatic acceleration in capability. The moon remains central, but now the goal is habitation. China plans an international lunar research station near the South Pole, rich in water ice. This isn't just exploration. It's building a permanent outpost for science and future missions. Technologies from these missions, robotics, AI, reusable rockets, will drive innovation and economic growth on Earth. Space exploration is fueling new industries and strengthening national defense. China's journey is a lesson in patience, persistence, and the power of long-term vision. The most audacious dreams are achieved through steady, incremental steps. By building methodically, China has created its ladder to the cosmos. Their story reminds us, plan carefully, build relentlessly, and never stop reaching for what lies beyond the horizon. Picture a young student who starts by copying the greats, learning every technique in detail. For years, this was China in tech, studying, adapting, and perfecting Western innovations for its own market. This copycat phase wasn't about a lack of creativity, but about building a solid foundation. Chinese companies learned to scale, adapt, and solve unique local problems, setting the stage for something bigger. Around the 2000s, the student grew confident, ready to create, not just imitate. The skills gained from imitation became the launchpad for true innovation. Suddenly, China wasn't just assembling gadgets, it was inventing new ways to shop, connect, and live. The world watched as China transformed from apprentice to innovator, ready to paint its own masterpiece. This journey from imitation to invention is one of the most remarkable stories in modern technology. Think of China's tech rise like preparing a grand feast. You need talent, tools, and the right environment. China gathered millions of ambitious engineers and entrepreneurs eager to build the future. Massive government and venture capital investment provided the fuel for bold ideas. With a huge tech-savvy population, China generated oceans of data, the secret sauce for AI and digital services. Every tap, scan, and payment refined products and trained smarter algorithms. The government set the stage, building world-class infrastructure and encouraging fierce competition. This unique mix, talent, capital, data, and policy, created the perfect kitchen for technological miracles. In China, even the wildest ideas could find support and scale. The result? A relentless engine for innovation. Imagine cooking for 1 billion people. China's tech companies operate at a scale few can fathom. Launch a new app, and millions join overnight, generating instant feedback and data. This scale creates a powerful cycle. More users mean more data, smarter AI, and better products. Manufacturing at scale drives down costs, making advanced tech, like solar panels and EVs, affordable worldwide. China's vast market lets companies take big risks and iterate fast. Hyper-competition forges resilient, world-class firms. Scale isn't just about size. It transforms how companies innovate, compete, and win. China's ability to cook for $1 billion has made it the most efficient and innovative chef in the global tech kitchen. The result? Futuristic ideas become everyday reality, faster than anywhere else. If innovation were music, Silicon Valley is a jazz band, improvisational, chaotic, driven by soloists. China is the symphony orchestra coordinated top-down, with the government as conductor. The orchestra model mobilizes resources for massive projects, like high-speed rail or green tech, executed with breathtaking speed. Jazz bands spark disruptive ideas, orchestras scale them with precision. Neither model is better, they're just different, each with unique strengths. Today these two styles compete and sometimes collaborate, shaping the future of technology. The interplay between jazz and orchestra is defining the 21st century tech landscape. Let's see China's innovation engine in action. In AI, companies like SenseTime and megacities lead in facial recognition, powered by vast real-world data. In solar energy, government support and manufacturing scale slashed costs, making China the world's top producer and exporter. For electric vehicles, China built not just cars but the entire ecosystem. Charging networks, subsidies, and affordable models for all. High-speed rail? China built the world's largest network in under 15 years, connecting cities and boosting the economy. The pattern clear national goals, massive investment, scale, and fierce execution. China's orchestra approach delivers rapid, system-wide innovation. But this speed comes with trade-offs. Can a top-down system miss unexpected breakthroughs? The debate continues. Jazz band or orchestra which creates the most lasting impact? Either way, China's superstars are reshaping global tech. China's tech journey is defined by leapfrogging, skipping old steps to embrace the new. With little legacy infrastructure, China jumped from cash to mobile payments, bypassing credit cards entirely. Apps like Alipay and WeChat Pay made digital payments seamless and universal. The super app emerged. WeChat combines messaging, payments, shopping, and more in one platform. This wasn't copied from the West. It was a homegrown solution for a mobile-first society. Leapfrogging let China build smart cities, digital banks, and connected healthcare from scratch. The student who skipped a grade is now exploring new frontiers. Super apps change daily life. Everything in one place, more convenience for users, more data for companies. Could this model work elsewhere? It depends on local habits and regulations. China's leapfrogging shows how unique challenges can spark world-changing innovation. China's journey isn't over. It's now investing in deep science, quantum computing, biotech, and space. The goal, not just to apply tech, but to pioneer the next wave of breakthroughs. Partnerships between tech giants and universities are fueling this push from lab to market. The world is now multipolar. Silicon Valley and China are both engines of progress. This rivalry drives everyone to innovate faster and dream bigger. Different cultures, different systems, each brings new ideas to the table. China's rise proves innovation isn't owned by any one nation. The former apprentice is now a master, painting bold new masterpieces for the world to see.
Financial power isn't just about wealth. It's about using capital strategically to achieve national goals. 3 pillars define this power: providing capital, setting the terms, and wielding influence as a creditor. China's rise as a global financial force is built on these foundations. In the early 2000s, China amassed huge foreign reserves through export-led growth, enabling it to lend and invest abroad. Unlike Western lenders, China offered loans with fewer political strings, often tying them to commercial interests, like requiring Chinese firms for infrastructure projects. This approach appealed to many developing nations, offering funding without the policy reforms demanded by the IMF or World Bank. As a creditor, China gained leverage, securing resources, building alliances, and shaping policies in borrowing countries. These financial ties create dependencies that can last decades, intertwining economies and aligning development paths with Beijing. China's model goes beyond simple transactions. It's about building durable influence. By mastering capital provision, unique lending terms, and creditor influence, China has redefined global financial power. The result? A new era where financial statecraft is central to international relations. China's strategy is now a blueprint for emerging powers seeking global influence. China's economic boom generated trillions in foreign reserves, an asset it soon wielded globally. Policymakers saw these reserves as more than a safety net. They became tools for projecting influence and securing resources. After 2000, China began channeling funds into overseas loans and investments targeting developing nations rich in resources but poor in infrastructure. State-owned banks and enterprises coordinated this push, offering an alternative to Western aid, which often came with strict reform conditions. China's win-win approach focused on tangible projects, roads, ports, railways, without demanding political changes. For many countries, this was a welcome shift access to capital without the burdensome strings attached. China financed projects others deemed too risky, rapidly expanding its global footprint. Within a decade, it became a top source of development finance, transforming from aid recipient to major lender. This wasn't charity, it was a strategic move to build trade networks, secure resources, and bind economies to China. The scale and speed of China's deployment were unprecedented, reshaping global economic geography. By financing infrastructure, China built goodwill and influence, positioning itself at the center of new economic corridors. Its model challenged the dominance of Western financial institutions. China's capital deployment is now a defining force in global development. Angola exemplifies China's early financial strategy in Africa. After civil war, Angola needed funds to rebuild, but rejected Western lenders' strict conditions. China stepped in with the Angola model loans, repaid with oil shipments instead of cash. This arrangement guaranteed China a steady oil supply and bypassed Angola's cash constraints. For Angola, it meant rapid reconstruction without Western oversight. Chinese companies built the projects, creating a closed loop of finance, construction, and resource flow. The model spread quickly to other resource-rich African nations like the DRC and Ghana. China soon became Africa's largest bilateral creditor, outmaneuvering traditional lenders. By linking loans to tangible assets, China positioned itself as a pragmatic, results-oriented partner. While debt sustainability concerns would later arise, the initial impact was transformative. China's approach fundamentally changed development finance in Africa. China's global financial strategy is powered by a tightly coordinated state apparatus. Policy banks like the China Development Bank and Export-Import Bank provide long-term, low-interest financing for overseas projects. Massive state-owned enterprises, such as China Road and Bridge Corporation, execute these projects, ensuring capital flows back into the Chinese economy. This integration of finance and industry is unique. Loans support Chinese firms abroad, creating jobs and expertise at home. China's patient capital stands in contrast to Western lenders seeking quick returns. The focus is on building relationships and strategic advantages over decades. Projects may not be immediately profitable, but they create trade corridors and influence that benefit China long-term. The government sets the strategic direction, aligning banks, enterprises, and diplomats toward national goals. This state-directed ecosystem enables China to execute a coherent global strategy. It's a model of financial power that prioritizes long-term influence over short-term profit. In Asia, China's ambitions go beyond resources. They aim to reshape the region's economic landscape. The Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, launched in 2013, envisions a vast network of infrastructure linking China to Europe, the Middle East, and beyond. The China-Pakistan Economic Corridor is a flagship BRI project, connecting Western China to the Arabian Sea and offering Pakistan economic modernization. For China, it provides a direct route to the Indian Ocean, bypassing strategic choke points. BRI projects in Asia are designed for deep, long-term integration, building not just roads and ports but also digital and energy networks. By constructing this infrastructure, China becomes an indispensable economic partner, orienting regional economies toward itself. Financial integration is key. China promotes the yuan for trade, establishes currency swaps, and leads institutions like the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. The BRI is more than a collection of projects. It's a strategy to create a Sino-centric economic order. This approach is more sophisticated than earlier models, aiming for comprehensive regional dependence. China's vision, a deeply integrated Eurasian economy with Beijing at its core. The BRI cements China's leadership in regional development finance. China's financial power faces criticism, especially the debt-trap diplomacy narrative. The Hambantota port in Sri Lanka is often cited. Built with Chinese loans, it was leased to a Chinese firm after Sri Lanka struggled with debt. Critics argue China deliberately lends to gain strategic assets when countries default. They point to opaque loan terms and potential threats to sovereignty. China counters that its loans respond to partner requests and promote mutual development. Research shows Sri Lanka's crisis was broader, involving debts to many creditors, not just China. The port lease was a way to raise foreign currency, not a direct asset seizure. The reality is complex. While there's little evidence of a systematic debt trap, Chinese lending can create risks and imbalances. The Hambantota case highlights the power dynamics and strategic gains possible when borrowers face distress. The debate over China's intentions is now central to global geopolitics. The pandemic reshaped global development finance, straining borrowers and prompting China to rethink its approach. China has scaled back new lending, focusing on managing existing loans and restructuring debt. The new phase emphasizes smaller, greener, and more sustainable projects, with greater attention to risk management. China is now more selective, reflecting a shift from rapid expansion to long-term asset management. Participation in multilateral debt relief frameworks marks a cautious adaptation. Promoting the yuan remains a key tool. Currency swaps facilitate trade, bypass the dollar, and offer financial safety nets. This gradually boosts the yuan's global role and challenges U.S. financial dominance. As China's model matures, questions remain: is this a new form of hegemony or a different approach to global power? China's ability to manage defaults, political frictions, and Western responses will shape the future of financial statecraft. The world is watching to see if China's financial power will truly redefine the global order.
For decades, China was seen as the world's apprentice, mastering the art of imitation. By reverse engineering Western technology, China gained a deep practical education in modern industry. Factories, blueprints, and know-how poured in, laying the groundwork for something bigger. But after 2000, a shift began. China moved from copying to creating. The question changed from, can we make that? To, how can we make it better? And finally, what can we invent? This wasn't accidental. It was a national strategy to lead, not follow. Chinese companies started innovating at the margins, tweaking designs, and pioneering new business models like super apps. Soon, they were filing more patents than anyone and leading in fields like mobile payments and 5G. The government, universities, and private sector united behind a single goal: technological self-sufficiency. The era of imitation ended. China's age of innovation began, reshaping global dynamics. The apprentice had become the master, and the world was taking notice. China's innovation boom is like a grand culinary project meticulously planned and lavishly funded. The government poured billions into R&D, especially in AI, biotech, and telecoms, de-risking bold projects for private firms. State-of-the-art labs, supercomputers, and rapid prototyping created a feedback loop few could match. China reformed education, producing millions of STEM graduates and luring top talent back home. 5-year plans acted as detailed recipes, aligning capital, talent, and infrastructure. Unlike the West's improvisation, China's structured approach ensured every ingredient was in place. This top-down strategy unified the nation behind clear technological goals. The result? A powerful coordinated push toward innovation superpower status. China's innovation model is a symphony, not a jazz ensemble. The state acts as conductor, orchestrating national plans like Made in China 2025 to target key industries. Massive funding, clear goals, and synchronized efforts across companies and universities create powerful alignment. This coordination enables rapid, large-scale projects, like building 5G networks or entire tech cities. While it may limit some creative chaos, it delivers epic, unified achievements. Advances in AI, for example, are quickly integrated across sectors by design. The result: breakthroughs become national assets, not isolated wins. China's symphonic approach is reshaping the global technological landscape. China's AI rise is a masterclass in systematic, state-driven innovation. After AlphaGo's victory, Beijing launched an ambitious AI plan with clear milestones and assigned tech giants to lead specific domains. These companies received privileged access to data, funding, and regulatory support. China's vast, unified digital ecosystem provides an unrivaled advantage for AI development. Universities rapidly expanded AI programs, building a deep talent pipeline. The public-private partnership accelerates progress, blending state direction with private agility. This methodical approach is powering China's ascent in foundational technologies. It's a patient, powerful blueprint for global tech leadership. China's genius lies in building entire innovation ecosystems, not just products. In electric vehicles, it developed the full value chain: batteries, charging networks, and consumer incentives, making it a global leader. In renewables, China controls the supply chain from raw materials to finished solar panels, achieving unmatched scale and cost. For AI, it combines data, infrastructure, and a vibrant startup scene to accelerate real-world applications. Every element, policy, talent, infrastructure, works in concert, creating a self-reinforcing environment. This ecosystem approach makes China's dominance hard to challenge. It's not just about building skyscrapers. It's about growing the whole rainforest. China's manufacturing dominance rests on three pillars: labor, infrastructure, and foreign investment. First, a vast, disciplined workforce powered the world's assembly lines. Second, massive investment in roads, ports, and railways made logistics seamless and efficient. Third, China welcomed foreign companies, trading market access for technology and expertise. This strategic absorption of knowledge turned China into a fast learner and a formidable competitor. These pillars were the result of deliberate, long-term planning. Together, they created an industrial powerhouse that was nearly impossible to rival. This foundation set the stage for China's leap into high-tech innovation. China's industrial clusters are the secret sauce of its manufacturing might. In places like Shenzhen, thousands of companies in the same sector operate side by side, creating hyper-efficient supply chains. Proximity means faster prototyping, lower costs, and rapid innovation, what's known as Shenzhen speed. Clusters attract specialized talent and foster a culture of competition and collaboration. Knowledge spreads quickly, driving collective improvement. The scale creates network effects. As more companies join, efficiency and innovation soar. Leaving China means leaving this entire ecosystem, not just a factory. That's why China's manufacturing edge is so hard to replicate. Made in China once meant low-cost assembly, but that's history. Chinese firms moved up the value chain, from process innovation on the factory floor to heavy investment in R&D. Companies like Huawei and Xiaomi built global brands, mastering design, marketing, and technology. The goal not just to assemble, but to invent and set global standards. Government policies fueled this shift, supporting R&D and protecting domestic innovation. Now, China leads in 5G, AI, and biotech, shaping the future instead of following it. This transformation made China a true technological peer to the West. The leap from assembly line to design lab is complete. Rising labor costs and demographics are pushing China into its next industrial revolution: smart manufacturing. The government is driving automation, making China the world's top market for industrial robots. Smart factories use AI and data to optimize every process, enabling mass customization and rapid innovation. At the same time, China is tackling pollution, investing heavily in renewables and clean tech. Green manufacturing and automation are now intertwined, making production more efficient and sustainable. China leads in electric vehicles, battery storage, and carbon capture, aiming to be the world's green tech provider. Strategic planning and scale are now focused on environmental solutions. By leading in both smart and green manufacturing, China is reshaping its global image. This dual transformation is the final chapter in China's rise as a tech superpower.
And there you have it. Powerful reasons why China might just become the next greatest country in the world. Whether you see it as inspiring or intimidating, one thing's clear: China is changing the global game. But what do you think? Drop a comment below. Is China truly on its way to global dominance, or are there still major roadblocks ahead? If you found this video eye-opening, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you never miss a deep dive into the future of our world.